Greetings. Welcome to the course of Electromagnetics, Unit 1, Lecture 14. Today's topic is curl and Stokes theorem. First, let us define what is curl. Curl of A is a rotational vector whose magnitude is maximum circulation of A, per unit area as the area tends to 0. And the direction of this vector, curl vector, is normal to the surface. So what it means exactly? So curl of a vector field A bar is nothing but, we can write as a curl A bar, also be written as curl is a cross product with the vector A bar, so which is nothing but maximum circulation of vector field A bar. So this is a circulation of vector field A bar. Let this loop is having the length of L. So this loop covers the maximum circulation of vector field A bar. Okay. The maximum circulation of vector field A bar I can write as, since it is a closed loop, it's a closed one, maximum circulation of vector field A bar dot dl. Maximum circulation of vector field A bar per unit surface area where the unit surface is, it has been surrounded by this loop. Here is for small unit surface area. As the surface area tends to 0, this unit surface area must approach us to the 0. Means this surface, closed surface, unit surface must be act as a point. It is approaching to the 0 means it should act as a point. Now it is a point P. So the point P has been surrounded by one loop which gives a maximum circulation of vector field A bar. So what is this? This is nothing but curl of a vector field A bar. Let me define once again. The curl of a vector field A bar is nothing but maximum circulation of the vector field A bar per unit surface as this unit surface approaches to the 0. So in a similar type of a definition, have you gone across previous classes? Yes, of course, in a divergence. So what is the divergence? Why we are defining the divergence? So what is the divergence of vector field? So if the maximum outflow of a flux passes through one particular point, actually what this point is, the small unit volume is there, it has been shrinks to the point P. So the divergence of vector field A bar is nothing but the flux passing to the closed surface. Flux passing to this closed surface, okay? This is nothing but A bar into ds per unit volume. As this unit volume approaches to the 0, this is nothing but divergence of A bar. See the difference? Here is a flux per unit volume. As this unit volume is acting as a single point charge because this approaches to the 0. This is a divergence. What is a curl now? Maximum circulation of a path or the closed loop of vector field per unit surface. As this unit surface approaches to the 0 means it acts as a point. So you can observe the similarity between the curl and the divergence. Okay. So what is when the curl? The curl is nothing but maximum circulation of a vector field. Okay. This is the maximum circulation of vector field. So I wrote the maximum circulation means it is in a closed loop. Okay. It is a rotational vector also. So I will write as a line integral over a closed loop per unit volume, unit area. This is unit surface area. As this unit area approaches to the 0. Okay. So we defined the divergence in the previous lectures. Based upon the divergence, we state and prove the divergence theorem. Right? Divergence theorem. So what the divergence theorem is? The flux passing through closed surface, which is nothing but A bar into ds. The flux passing through closed surface is equal to volume integral of divergence of A bar. Right? Volume integral, so it is a dv. So this is a divergence. We already in the previous classes we stated and we proved also. What is the divergence theorem? The flux passing to the closed surface is equal to volume integral of divergence of A bar, so vector field A bar into dv. Okay. Now here we will state and prove the Stokes theorem. Okay. Based upon the curl we have Stokes theorem. Okay. Stokes theorem states that maximum circulation of vector field A bar, which is written in the form of A bar into dl. Maximum circulation of vector field A bar, it has been represented in the form of loop, a single coordinate, which is equal to the surface integral of curl of A bar into this. So what does Stokes? Okay. So what does Stokes theorem states that maximum circulation of a vector field over a closed path, okay, single coordinate, which is equal to surface integral of curl of A bar into ds. Okay. Now let us prove the Stokes theorem. I'll erase this part. Okay. Consider the LHS of a Stokes theorem. Consider LHS. So what the LHS is? Integration of over a closed path A bar into dl. Okay. So this is integration of L indicates that. So it is a closed path. It is a summation of small line segments of dl. Okay. So here we have, this is a dl. Okay. Sum of all these line segments which gives a closed path. So I can also write sum of all the line segments, right? So I can write summation of k line segments over integral of Lk and A bar into dLk. Okay? Just we have been discretized. So what we did? So instead of a continuous closed path, here we just mentioned that sum of all the line segments L1, L2, L3, L4, which gives a closed loop of L. Okay? So what we do? Let us multiply and divide with delta, means ds, means unit surface. I will multiply this with unit surface, okay, and also divide with unit surface. Okay. Now it is having the two parts. This is one thing and this is second thing. Have you gone through this formula before? Yes. While we are defining the curl, we have been seen this formula. What is this one? This is nothing but maximum circulation of vector field per unit surface area. As this unit surface area approaches to the 0, because this unit surface area will get cancelled, we approaches to the 0. So we can write this as, what this can be written as? This can be written as, this is nothing but curl of A bar. So curl of A bar per unit surface area. So it should be of surface integral. Okay. This delta x can be written as ds. So is it not our RHS? Yes, this is our RHS. What the Stokes theorem says that the line integral of A bar into dl, okay, which is nothing but circulation of a closed path in a vector field A bar, which is equal to surface integral of curl of A bar into ds. Hence Stokes theorem is proved. Okay. So if we compare the Stokes theorem and the divergence theorem, so we find one link. What it is? In a Stokes theorem, line integral will be getting the equivalent surface integral, right? So if we have a term with the line integral, so which converts into the surface integral. So what it is in the divergence theorem? The surface integral will be converted into volume integral. Okay? So the Stokes theorem and divergence theorem are having some similarity, that the Stokes theorem which gives the equivalent surface integral of line integral, and divergence theorem gives the equivalent volume integral of surface integral. Okay. So be thorough with the divergence theorem and Stokes theorem, because there are so many applications of divergence theorem and Stokes theorem we are going to use in the coming units. Okay. Now we will see how to find the curl of A. Now we evaluate the formulas of curl of a vector A bar in Cartesian, in cylindrical, in spherical coordinate system. Okay. If the A bar is in a Cartesian system, okay, it is in Cartesian system, Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, then how to obtain the curl of A bar? Cartesian system means A bar is in the form of Ax, Ay, Ay, yes, Az into Az. Okay, this capital Ax, capital Ay and capital Az gives a magnitude along x, y and z. Okay, and del you know. Okay, how the del can be defined? Dou by dou x of Ax, dou by dou y of Ay plus dou by dou z of Az. Now we have to obtain the cross product of del with A bar. Cross product of del with A bar, and we know as a cross product we will write in a determinant format. In a determinant form we will write all the unit vectors, and this is delta. No, first you write the magnitude of Ax, Ay and Az of delta, that is dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and the magnitudes of A bar in x, y and z. This is Ax, Ay and Az. Okay. Next, if A bar, so this is A bar means our vector is in the Cartesian coordinate. If it is in the cylindrical coordinates, if A bar is in the cylindrical coordinates, the cylindrical coordinate system, then A bar is in the form of A rho into A rho, A phi into A phi plus Az into Az. Okay, these small a's are the unit vectors, and capital A indicating the magnitudes of rho means radius of a cylinder, and phi that is azimuthal angle, and this is a height of a cylinder. Okay, and as it is del means this is a del, right? So how to obtain the curl of a vector A bar, and A bar is defined in cylindrical coordinates. This can be written as 1 by rho of magnitude of, we have the unit vectors here, this is A rho, A phi and Az. So here it is rho, it is rho into A rho. This is dou terms are as it is, dou by dou rho, dou by dou phi and dou by dou z, right? And magnitudes of A is A rho, this is rho into A phi and this is Az. Okay, so in this way we can obtain the curl of a vector A bar in cylindrical coordinate system. Now we will write the curl of A bar where the vector A bar is defined in spherical coordinate system. Now A bar in spherical coordinate system. Spherical coordinates. Okay. So we will write curl of A bar, and where del and A bar is in spherical coordinates, it is written as 1 by r square sin theta, determinant of AR, R, A phi, R sin theta, Az, R phi, R theta and phi. The coordinates in spherical, R theta and phi. And this is dou by dou R as it is, dou by dou theta and dou by dou phi. Okay. Here what the magnitudes are? AR, R into A theta, R sin theta into A phi. Okay. What is A theta, A phi and are the magnitudes of A bar is AR into AR. Okay. This magnitude of AR is this one. And what is this theta? Theta is nothing but A theta into A theta. Okay. This is the magnitude of A theta is this A theta. And plus A phi into A phi. Okay. So what is this one A phi here? So multiple of R sin theta into A phi. What this A phi is? A phi is a magnitude of A phi. Okay. By using these three formulas, we can obtain the curl in a Cartesian, curl in a cylindrical and curl in spherical coordinate system. Now, rho v is a volume charge density. Okay, so you know about rho L. It is a line charge density, which is nothing but total length of line by total charge by total length. And you also know about the rho S. It is a surface charges. What are the units? So electric field, it is volt per meter. The unit of electric field is volt per meter. And what is the unit of electric flux density? Because electric flux density Q d bar is given by total charge by total surface area, right? dq by ds, right? So what will be the unit? Q is coulomb. S is the surface area, is coulomb per meter square. Okay? Here the charge, Gauss charge is coulombs only. And rho V, volume charge density is given by coulomb per meter cube. And rho L, coulomb per meter. And rho S, coulomb per meter square. Okay? And you must be known about all the differential surfaces. As the differential elements in cylindrical differential surfaces in cylindrical and spherical coordinating systems are playing very important role while we are solving the numericals. Let me again rewrite the formulas of differential surfaces in cylindrical and spherical coordinating system. Okay? Differential surface elements. Surface elements. Okay, first we will write in cylindrical. In cylindrical coordinating system, what are the differential surface elements are? Okay, these are very important while we are solving the numericals. So there are three differential elements in a cylindrical. What are those? Maybe dr or d rho. Okay. If you are comfortable with R, I use R only. dr, r d phi and dz are the three differential elements in cylindrical coordinating system. Now let us take that differential surface area normal to R. Okay, this differential surface is normal to R means the surface is formed with these two cosides. This is r, d phi and dz and the unit vector is r. Okay. These are all the topics has been discussed in the first 5 lectures itself. Just again I am summarizing the formula so that it will be easy for you to refer while we are solving the numericals. So this is differential surface area normal to phi in a cylindrical. Okay, this is normal one. So this is dr dz into a phi. Differential surface normal to z, which is given by it is normal to z. So this is r dr d phi into az. Okay, these three are the differential surfaces in cylindrical. If you want to have a differential volume also, let us have a look. So the volume is product of all the three terms r, dr, d phi and dz. Okay, so this is the differential surfaces and differential volume in cylindrical coordinating system. In the same case, we will see for the spherical also. Then we will move on to the numericals. In spherical means in spherical coordinates. Okay, in a spherical coordinates, what are the three differential terms are? dr is one term. The second term is r d theta, and third term is three differential elements in the spherical coordinating system are dr, r d theta, r sin theta into d phi. Then what is the differential surface normal to r? The differential surface normal to r means these three coordinates. As r is there, I will take r into r square, sin theta, d theta, d phi. As it is normal to r, it is ar. In the same way, differential surface area normal to theta, it is normal to theta. So remaining two coordinates r sin theta, dr, d phi, and it is a theta. Now differential surface area normal to phi. Okay, it is normal to phi. Then it is r dr d theta into dFi. Okay, these three are the differential surfaces in a spherical coordinating system. I just wrote the formula here. If you want a clear explanation, you just go through the lecture number 3. Okay. At the same time, we will write the differential volume dV, which is a product of all the three terms. So I'll write as r square sin theta dr d theta and d phi. Okay. These are all the list of formulas required to solve the numericals. Okay. In the next class, we will solve the nth number of numericals on electric field, electric flux density, electric field, electric flux density, and Gauss law applications and divergence theorem.